Welcome dear students for this 12th lecture of chapter study of Pila globosa. In today's lecture we are going to deal with study of nervous system in Pila globosa. So let's take a brief recap of previous lecture. In last lecture we have studied the structure of excretory system. In that we have studied the structure of excretory organs, functions of these excretory organs and the mechanism of excretion. The objective of today's lecture are introduction to the nervous system followed by parts and organs of the central nervous system which includes ganglion, commissures, connective and their types, and finally we will study the peripheral nervous system which includes the nerves. So let's begin with the study of nervous system. First we will see the characteristic features of nervous system. So the nervous system of Pila is very well developed and comprises of two main parts, that is central nervous system or CNS and peripheral nervous system or PNS. The nervous system consists of paired and unpaired ganglion, commissures and connective. Okay, so it is basically made up of three components, that is ganglion, commissures and connectives. So let's understand the meaning of these words. First of all, these commissures are the nerves which establish connection between similar ganglion. So when the two similar type of ganglion are connected with each other, then that connection is called as commissure. And on the other hand, when two different types of ganglion are connected with each other, that connection of nerve is called as connective. Okay, so commissure and connective are nothing but the nerves which connect the ganglion, and there are two types of them: commissures which connect two similar ganglion and connective which connect to different ganglion. Now most of these ganglion are concentrated in the buccal region of the Pila, that is called as buccal mass. Now let's study the types of nervous system. So as we have divided it into two types, that is central nervous system or CNS. It comprises of ganglion, commissures and connectives, and the peripheral nervous system or PNS is made up of nerves. So we will start with the first, that is central nervous system. So as I said, the central nervous system major component is ganglion. So what is ganglion? Ganglion is the small compact mass of nerve cells. Okay, so it is nothing but the mass of nerve cells, and the connective tissue is called as ganglion. So it is a nerve cell along with connective tissue is called as ganglion. Now there are in all 6 different types of ganglion which are present in Pila. So these are cerebral ganglion, buccal ganglion, pedal ganglion, pleural ganglion, supraintestinal ganglion and visceral ganglion. Now if we divide them into paired and unpaired ganglion, the paired ganglion are of 4 types, that is cerebral, buccal, pedal and pleural, and there are 2 types of ganglion which are single, they are not paired. These are supraintestinal and infraintestinal, which is also called as visceral ganglion. Now this table summarizes the name of ganglion, their number, shape and location. So if we see cerebral ganglion, there are 2 in number, they are triangular and they are present dorsolateral side of the buccal mass. We know that this buccal mass is situated in the mouth region. Now the buccal ganglion, they are also 2 in number. They are also triangular in shape and they are present at the junction of buccal mass and the start of esophagus, which is part of the digestive system. The third type of ganglion is actually the combination of 2, that is pleural and pedal ganglion. Though we have seen them separately, but they are attached with each other as pleural and pedal ganglion. So they are also 2 in number, triangular in shape and present on lateral side of this buccal mass. Next type is supraintestinal ganglion. It is singular and it is present behind the pleural pedal ganglion. Now this visceral and infraintestinal, this is also singular. It is triangular in shape and it is present end of the visceral mass. Now the connection between two similar ganglion is called as commissure. So commissure is the connection between two similar ganglion. So let's take the first type. So there are basically three types of commissure which are present in the pila. That is cerebral commissure, buccal commissure and pedal commissure. So what is the meaning of this? We will understand in next few slides. So the first important type of ganglion are called as cerebral ganglion. So let's first see the position of this cerebral ganglion. So here is the one cerebral ganglion and here is the second cerebral ganglion. Now these, as I told you, when two similar ganglion are connected, that connection is called as commissure. So this connection between two cerebral ganglion is obviously called as cerebral commissure. So how is this cerebral ganglion look like? It is a thick band of nerve. Now these are connected by the commissure. So this commissure connects two cerebral ganglion. They are present, the cerebral ganglia are present on dorsal side. We have already seen in the previous table of the buccal mass. They are two in number, they are triangular in shape and they are connected to each other. So these two similar ganglion are connected by the cerebral commissure. So suppose this is one cerebral ganglion, this is second cerebral ganglion. So they will be connected with each other by a connection that is called as cerebral commissure. So this commissure means connection between two similar ganglion, and since they are connecting two cerebral ganglion, we have called them as cerebral commissure. Now we come to the second type of ganglion, that is buccal ganglion. So these are the fine nerves which connect. Now these buccal ganglion are also two in number and they are connected by a connection that is called as buccal commissure. So suppose there is one buccal ganglion connected with another buccal ganglion, then that nerve is called as buccal commissure. So what is this buccal commissure? It is a fine nerve that connects two buccal ganglion. And where is it is situated? So these buccal ganglions, they are situated at the junction of buccal mass and esophagus, right? And they are connected, two similar buccal ganglion are connected by buccal commissure. Now we come to the third type of ganglion, that is pleuropedal ganglion. So though we have seen that pleural ganglion and pedal ganglion, two types, but these pleural and pedal ganglion, they are always connected or fused with each other to form pleuropedal ganglion. How are they? They are large and triangular to rectangular in shape, and they two pleuropedal ganglion are connected to each other by the pedal commissure. So this pleuropedal ganglion connected with another pleuropedal ganglion by the pedal commissure. In this diagram, we will see the position of each ganglion. So these are the cerebral ganglion. There are two cerebral ganglion connected by cerebral commissure. Here we have the two buccal ganglion. These two buccal ganglion are connected by the buccal commissure. Now let's see the position of pleural and pedal ganglion. So this is the left pleural ganglion. This is the right pleural ganglion. On the inner side, you will have the left pedal ganglion and right pedal ganglion. But as I told you, pleural and pedal ganglion, they are fused with each other to form the pleuropedal ganglion. Okay, so you have the left pleuropedal ganglion and right pleuropedal ganglion. and they are connected with each other. So this pleuropedal ganglion on the left side is connected with the right side pleuropedal ganglion with a commissure that is called as pedal commissure. Now we see the next type, supraintestinal ganglion. So as I told you, these supraintestinal ganglion, they are one in number, so they are unpaired. They are placed behind the left pleuropedal ganglion. So in this diagram, you can see the supraintestinal ganglion, which is present below your pleuropedal ganglion. Now they are connected with left pleural ganglion by a connective. So in this diagram, you can see this supraintestinal ganglion is connected with this pleuropedal type of a ganglion. So supraintestinal ganglion connected with this right pleuropedal ganglion by a long nerve. That nerve is called as supraintestinal nerve. Okay, now we come to the second type of connections that are called as connectives. So we have already defined what is meant by connective. So connectives are the nerves which connect two dissimilar ganglion. So there are different types of connectives. First we will see the types and then we will discuss each one by one. There are two cerebrobuccal connectives. Why two? Because there are two cerebral ganglion as well as two buccal ganglion. There are two cerebropleural connectives. There are two cerebropedal connectives. Because cerebral ganglion are also two in number and buccal, pleural and pedal ganglion are also two in number. Then we have single pleural infraintestinal connective, single infraintestinal visceral connective, single supraintestinal visceral connective and supraintestinal pleural connective. Then there is one specialized connection that is called as zygonury. So let's discuss one by one. So connectives, they basically connect the two dissimilar ganglion. Suppose there is connection between cerebral ganglion and buccal ganglion. Then that connective is called as cerebrobuccal connective. So this connects cerebral and buccal ganglion. Suppose there is connection between cerebral and pleural ganglion, then that connective is called as cerebropleural connective. Now how to give this nomenclature? Whichever ganglion is present on the top side, the first name is taken from that ganglion. So since cerebral ganglion is situated above the pleural ganglion, the name is given as cerebropleural connective. Similarly, cerebral ganglion is situated above the buccal ganglion, so the connective is called as cerebrobuccal connective. If the connective is present between cerebral and pedal ganglion, it is called as cerebropedal connective. Okay, now let's understand them in better way. So suppose this is cerebral ganglion and this is buccal ganglion. So obviously these two ganglions are different. So they will not be connected by commissures, but they will be connected by connective nerve. And that connective nerve between cerebral and buccal ganglion is called as cerebrobuccal connective. And why to name this? Because cerebral is situated above the buccal ganglion. Similarly, cerebral ganglion is when it is connected with pedal ganglion, that connective is called as cerebropedal connective. When the connection is between cerebral ganglion and pleural ganglion, that connective or connective nerve is called as cerebropleural connective. In this diagram, we will see the position of different connectives. So suppose this is a cerebral ganglion, it is attached to this buccal ganglion, then this connecting nerve is called as cerebrobuccal connective. Similarly, on this right side you have the cerebral ganglion connected with a buccal ganglion. Then this connecting nerve is called as a cerebrobuccal connective. Now here you will see this. Now here we will see this cerebral ganglion is connected with a pleural ganglion. Then that connective is called as a cerebropleural connective. And when the cerebral ganglion is connected to the inner side pedal ganglion, then it is called as a cerebropedal connective. Okay, so this is the cerebropedal connective and this is the cerebropleural connective. Here you can see this supraintestinal ganglion is connected with this pleural ganglion with the nerve, that is supraintestinal nerve. Similarly, we have the connection between pleural ganglion and the infraintestinal ganglion. So when a pleural ganglion is connected with a infraintestinal ganglion, then these two are dissimilar ganglion, so that connection will be connective and it will be named as pleuro-infraintestinal connective, since pleural ganglion is situated above the infraintestinal ganglion. Similarly, you have the connection between infraintestinal ganglion and a visceral ganglion. So such connection is called as a infraintestinal visceral connective. Now this is present below the intestine and it is a long nerve that connects this visceral ganglion with the infraintestinal ganglion. Now since infraintestinal is situated above the visceral ganglion, it is called by the name, the infraintestinal name comes first before the visceral ganglion. Similarly, we have supraintestinal visceral connective that connects supraintestinal ganglion with visceral ganglion, and that connective is called as supraintestinal visceral connective. Now this is also present above the intestine. Next type of connective is supraintestinal pleural connective. Now similarly, here the supraintestinal ganglion is connected with the pleural ganglion by a connective, so that connective will be named as supraintestinal pleural connective. So it connects this supraintestinal ganglion and the pleural ganglion. Now there is one specialized connection between pleural ganglion and supraintestinal ganglion that is referred by the name zygonury. Okay, so this is all about the central nervous system, which is made up of the different types of ganglion. These ganglions may be connected by the similar ganglions are connected by the commissures, and dissimilar ganglions are connected by the connectives. And we have studied the different types of the commissures and connectives. Now we come to the second part, that is peripheral nervous system. So as I told you, this peripheral nervous system is made up of nerves which innervate different organs of the body. So if we see from the cerebral ganglion, different nerves arises. So several nerves supply to the anterior region of the skin of snout, which is part of the mouth region, tentacles and buccal mass. So these parts of the body are getting the nerves which are supplied by the cerebral ganglion. Similarly, cerebral ganglion supplies nerve posteriorly to the organs like tentacle, eyes and statocyst. So we know that this tentacle have a tactile function, eyes are for the eyes are present for the vision, and the statocyst is present for the equilibrium of the body. So we'll be studying this in the next lecture. Now we come to the buccal ganglion. Now this buccal ganglion is the second type of ganglion which supply nerves to the buccal region. So that includes buccal mass, radular sac, salivary glands, esophagus and the esophageal pouches, which are also the one of the glands. So buccal ganglion supplying nerves to the different parts in the buccal region. Then comes the nerves arising from third type of ganglia, that is pleuropedal, which are fused ganglion. So they supply blood anteriorly as well as posteriorly to the foot. Okay, so this pedal ganglion. First we will see the pedal ganglion. Pedal ganglion supply nerves to the foot. So the pedal means foot. And it also supplies nerves to all the parts of the foot. Now statocyst, which is the organ of equilibrium, is connected to this pedal ganglion by a band of connective tissue. Okay, so the position of statocyst is near the pedal ganglion, and infraintestinal nerve connects the pleural ganglion of both sides. Okay, let's see in the diagram infraintestinal nerve that connects the pleural ganglion of both sides. So in this diagram we can see these pleural ganglions, they are connected by this nerve. That nerve is called as a infraintestinal nerve. Okay, so now we move to the next type of ganglion, that is pleural ganglion. Now pleural ganglion is also present in the left as well as on the right side. So in this diagram we can see we have the left pleural ganglion and the right pleural ganglion. So the left pleural ganglion, several nerves arises and that supply this connection of the nerve to the parietal wall of the body, mantle region, left nuchal lobe, ospiradium and columnar muscles of the body. Similarly, the nerves which are arising from right pleural ganglion supply nerves to parietal wall of epithenia, right nuchal lobe, copulatory organ, columnar muscle and rectum region. Now we come to the next type of ganglion, that is supraintestinal ganglion, which supra means above the intestine. So supraintestinal ganglion, a single large nerve arises from left side supplying it to the mantle region and anterior part of the tenedium. Then now the connective which is present between supraintestinal ganglion and the left pleural ganglion sends several nerves to the parietal wall. So here we can see there are several nerves connection which are coming out of this region. So all these small branches are nothing but the nerves which are going to the different organs of the body from this ganglion. Now we come to the last ganglion, that is visceral ganglion. So each visceral ganglion gives off a right nerve. Now this right nerve goes to renal organ, which is part of the excretory system. Then it also supplies nerve to the reproductive organ and the intestine. So these nerve basically innervate the excretory organ, that is renal organ, reproductive organ and the intestine. Similarly, a left nerve arises from visceral ganglion which innervates or supplies nerve to the pericardium, that is the layer or sac-like structure around the heart, stomach, liver and other reproductive organs. Then a few small nerves arising from the visceral ganglion are supplied to the neighboring organs. So let's see in this diagram, we can see this visceral ganglion and there are several nerves arising from this visceral ganglion. So these are the visceral nerves. Now the supraintestinal visceral connective supplies nerve to pericardium, pulmonary sac, gill and parietal wall. So let's see the position of this supraintestinal visceral connective. So here in this diagram you can see this supraintestinal visceral connective that connects the supraintestinal ganglion with a visceral ganglion. And here you will see several nerves, and these nerves are going to pericardium, pulmonary sac, gill and parietal wall. So with this we conclude today's lecture. In today's lecture we have studied the nervous system of Pila, which is made up of CNS and PNS. The central nervous system is made up of ganglion, commissures and connectives. Ganglions are the mass of nerves. These commissures are nerves which connect to similar ganglion, and connectives are the nerves which connect to dissimilar ganglion. Then we studied the peripheral nervous system, which is made up of nerves. So from these ganglion, different nerves arises, and those innervates different organs of the body. So with this we conclude today's lecture. Thank you.